Streak lets you add AI as a step in any automation. So instead of manually asking questions or running autofill yourself, you can just trigger AI automatically. You can do this anytime you create a new box, have an incoming email, a box changes stages, so it can run at the right moment without any prompting. So I'm going to show you how to automate AI in Streak and demo a workflow to create and enrich incoming lead inquiries that you can start using today. To get started with an automation, head to the pipeline that you want to automate and click the three-dot menu in the upper right corner. Select Integrations and Automation, and we'll create a native integration from scratch here. So the first step is to add a trigger that is going to kick off your automation. So we'll do Box Stage Changed. Click the plus button in the bottom right corner to browse the action steps. So there are 3 action steps in the Streak folder. The first one is to AI autofill box fields. So this runs AI autofill on whichever columns you've selected, and you can choose which ones will autofill when this trigger occurs. The prompt is set at the column level before you build the automation, so you'll want to make sure to do that in your pipeline. You can specify for each column whether you want AI to do web research or review the content of the box to fill in the rest of your data. AI autofill is best for structured field enrichment that's triggered by something like a stage change or a box update. The next AI action step is to ask AI about a box. So this uses our Q&A feature, and it allows you to type in a question that AI will review the box content, including the whole timeline of emails, comments, call logs, everything in there, and give you an answer. So you can ask questions like, what levers can I use to negotiate at this point in the deal, or find expansion opportunities for this deal? You can even ask it to make a list of discovery questions that you should ask the lead. Just make sure you add a step to post that answer somewhere. So you could add a comment in a box, or you could share it in Slack. The final Streak action step is to generate a box summary. So this will generate both a short and long summary, and it will populate it in the AI summary magic column in your pipeline as well as in the box. You could also share it in Slack or anywhere else that you can use these action steps. So for example, when a deal moves into a closed won stage, you could share that with your team along with a short summary so everyone can celebrate the win and learn what went right. The fourth AI automation step you can use is in the utilities folder, and that's the AI response. So the AI response is a little bit different from the other AI action steps because it can run on any field from a previous step in your automation. That means it doesn't have to refer just to box context like the other AI action steps, but you could actually use it to find information in an incoming email before it's even been added to Streak. I'll demo a workflow that shows you how you can use this to take incoming emails from form submissions or contact us forms and create a fully enriched lead in Streak automatically. Here's our lead intake creation automation. I'll walk through really quickly what these steps are, and then we can take a look at how they're set up. So this is triggered on an incoming message like we just saw. So anytime you get a new message in your inbox, it's going to kick off this automation, and then we're going to ask AI to complete 2 tasks for us in this case. We're going to have it find information from the body of this incoming Gmail message. And then we're going to use that information to create a box and give it a name and add a contact. Then we'll add this Gmail thread here to the box that we just created. And finally, we're going to run AI autofill. So we'll continue to scrape all the rest of the information from that email in the box and fill out the lead completely. Let's take a look at how this is set up. Okay, so here's how we set up this automation, and it's including sample data from our demo account. So we have the incoming message trigger, and you could set up a filter to have it only run when it's from a certain email address or includes a certain subject line. So that's how you can narrow it down to, for example, your lead intake form submissions. But for this example and demo, we're just going to have it run on all of our incoming messages. Then we set up 2 AI responses. So what we do is we set up the input data to come from the incoming message body. So if we remove that data there, you can see that we can choose the previous step and use message parsed body. So that means it's going to run on the body, the email body from this incoming message. And our prompt here is to return the business name. So it's going to look through the whole email, find the business name, and then add it in this completion. This is the same thing. It's trained on the incoming email body, but we're saying return the email address. So it's going to find our contact's email address. Then we're going to take that information and we're going to create a box. And so what we did here, again, if I remove this so you can see, is that we're going to give the box name. We're going to go from the first AI response step and we're going to input the completion there. So again, remember that is our business name and we can see in the sample data that that worked. Here we did the same exact thing in the email. We went in and we selected the second AI response step and chose the completion, and that found the email address for us. Then we're going to add that thread to the box. And finally, we're going to AI autofill the box field. So this will scan all the rest of the email and fill in the information in all of the columns in our box. So let's take a look and see if this works. We're going to save our integration. And then over here, I have an email drafted. This is a demo lead inquiry. So this could be coming from someone who sees our contact information on our website, but you can also set this up, like I mentioned, for form submission. So if you have a lead intake form or a contact form, and then that form information gets emailed to you in a notification, you could scrape the information from that. So I'm sending this to my demo email. We'll hit send back over to my demo email inbox. And we can see that this email just appeared and it's already been added to our box in Streak. It gave the box a name, it found the contact and added the contact. And then it went through and it filled in all of our fields that were available in the autofill and in the email address. So if we want to take a look at this in our pipeline, we're going to see this morning cup, and we could fill out additional automation steps, assign it to someone on our team, or fill in any of this additional information. But we're going to open this up here. We'll see the email that was sent in the inbox already included. So this is a complete lead that your deal can sign in the morning, and any emails that they've received overnight are already in their pipeline with all of this information, email history included.